Hello and welcome to another Warcraft 3 audio commentary. Today we're going to be watching WL round of 4, round 1, best of 3, I don't know. But the players are really good. This is being streamed live at twitch.tv/PRB. It'll go onto the YouTube channel tomorrow-ish, which is what we'll see. We're going to try to. Anyway, so let's introduce our players. We do have Lynn spawning in as the pink orc. Let me try that again. Lynn spawning in as the pink orc in the lower left. This map is Last Refuge 1.3, and up in the upper right we can see Cechi spawning in as the blue undead. So indeed it's undead versus orc. It's not a match we see a lot of, really. So I'm kind of excited because we haven't really seen one of these in a while on this channel. I think it's been a little while. I don't know where the orcs went. Like, they just disappeared. I think humans just kind of like were too good against them or something. I don't know. But we're gonna see this game. Pretty nice. It's always good to see. It's always good to see this matchup now, especially with Lynn, who is such a good player. One of the top player. Like, I think he's ranked 2 right now according to there's like a statistics website. If I can remember, I'll put a link in the description of the videos, like links to the description. I don't know how accurate the rankings are, but I would say they're fairly good for recent, like the past year or so, maybe the past 6 months of players. And he's ranked up there like top 3, so really good player. And it's based on like performance in like Chinese leagues or something recently, so it's not bad, fairly accurate. Yeah. So here we can see Blade Master Grunt. Again, fairly standard stuff. We're probably going to see it's going to be a Fiend opening coming in from Cechi. Really, it's what you expect from this matchup. Of course, he's going to block the gold mine in. A kind of a cool little block here, using the graveyard down here by the tree line. You could put it up here if you wanted to, but this is kind of cool, I think. Because you can see there's a lot of trees this way. He does have to be slightly careful about not cutting into this, but he can later when he gets some ziggurats right there. So it's kind of like, you know, a little nice, I think. I don't know. I guess it depends on your personal preference there, whether you want to put yourself in a situation where you have lots of early wood by putting your graveyard like right here, and you have all these trees, or wait till like mid-late game and you have like a source of close trees. It just depends on how you want to look at that. I'd say they both have their advantages and disadvantages, because if you put the graveyard over here, you have to build your base a little differently, and you have to be a little bit more careful about rallying units to not get them stuck in buildings or something. So it's a little bit, yeah. But I do like this way to do it. Of course, we're going to see Mr. Lin. He did creep just a little bit something. Did he item creep maybe? I didn't see. But he's going to run into this shop. At some point, he wants to buy boots, but he won't be able to do that for a little while. I think he's getting to like right here. And right now, he's just going to actually creep for the item at the Ogre Magi. He did buy the Circle of Nobility from the Goblin Merchant. He, of course, already sold his TP when he bought his items on his own shop, I'm sure. And you can see, kind of close here, but it's not really a big deal unless there's like a Death Knight there or something. And he's going to be able to get out of there. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to like Healing Salve and then Windwalk, but you generally can't, so it's just a little bit of a waste of mana. Not a huge deal. Something you just kind of have to accept if you're doing that. Over here you can see Cechi's getting some pretty undisturbed creeping. We do have that Grunt right here just kind of scouting, saying, hey, I'm here, you know, making him be a little bit apprehensive maybe about where that Blade Master is, but Cechi's a good player. He probably knows that he was going to item creep, or he would have shown up a little bit sooner, so he was probably not feeling too much pressure or heat from that. Of course, over here, you can see the Blade Master just chilling. He does take some hits. He does have 4 salves on him, so he can do a lot of harass just by tanking right here for the cost of gold. Because, of course, in this matchup, levels are key. Okay, so this Death Knight, it's very possible for the Orc player to keep this Death Knight at a low level well into, like, the late game. Just because like you can sit there and do a lot of front-loaded pressure and then back out, heal up, and your healing's a lot better. So even if you're like only etching away, it can work out pretty well. It's not easy to do, and the better the undead player, the harder it is to do. But it's something you could definitely see Lin do against someone like Cechi. It's very possible, even though Cechi's really good. but we're not going to see that happening. And it's really not the greatest strategy, because generally you're going to want to creep as the orc player, of course, get items, get experience and all that. So this isn't as aggressive as he could be playing, in other words, is all I'm saying there. Of course, now we're going to see Cechi saying, well, if you're going to creep, I'm going to be some aggressive to you. I can't let you just, like, delay my harassing and then not delay, or harass my creeping or whatever, and then not harass yours if you're going to go for that. And he's going to pull this off really well. He's done a lot of damage to 2 grunts. That's 2 healing salve charges down, which is really kind of what you have to think about in the way you're doing damage in terms of the early game of this matchup, because you're not generally going to kill units. If you get a surround, maybe, but even then, as we saw, there was one grunt that got surrounded. You still have to, like, generally let it go. It's really hard to kill them. These things are 700 HP, 1 armor. They're really tanky early on. Really hard to actually kill them. So you really want to think about in terms of the healing salve, because this is the key in the early game. Of course, at this point, we are at tier 2. We do have the Shadow Hunter coming out. This is scary because he can cast Hex, and Hex is, oh, so difficult to deal with. You can just see Cechi just trying to do something here to save this fiend. Yeah, without his Lich out or something, there's almost nothing he can do. And he can just chain Hex. He needs to get these fiends out, like, right now. But or I guess he could try to nuke down the Blade Master. Well, not nuke him down. He's just trying to, like, kill him. I don't know. It's not really working out too well. He's losing fiends. Lost 2 fiends. Not too great. Here we do see him gonna go ahead and get the Lich out at a great time. He did skill Frost Nova. Looks like he wanted to go for a kill, but Lin a little bit better than that, and speed scroll down. Actually, really good for Lin right there, because generally you want to skill Frost Armor really early. That's like a early thing, level 1 skill. You almost always want to get on the Lich. Generally, the only time you're going to go for Frost Nova is if you can get a kill. Like, Cechi definitely probably thought he could maybe get a kill on the Blade Master, and that's why he went for it. Or at the very least, cause a lot of pressure, you know, and make sure that Lin was gonna have to go back and heal up and stuff. But in this case, it didn't work out too well because of that speed scroll. Nonetheless, he's gonna go for the creeping, and he's gonna get level 2 fairly soon. So it's not gonna make any real difference in this game, but it's all psychological. It's all psychological. I guess, I don't know. Over here, let's look at the tech. We haven't really done that. We will see that Cechi is going for tier 3. It's a fairly delayed one. You can definitely see a lot of variations on this strategy where you rush to tier 3, where you do it even before you start building your Lich. This was obviously one where you let the Lich come out and get to Slaughterhouse, and that's just a delayed tier 3. And it's not bad if you're dealing with a lot of early pressure against the Orc, because you know he's going to be creeping while you're at tier 2. And if he does try to be a little bit more aggressive, there's basically 2 ways that the game can go at that point. If he's been really aggressive in the early game, either he can keep being really aggressive, or he can back off and go creep. And if you've done a good job harassing him, like what we saw over here when the Orc player was trying to creep those nulls, and Cechi did a pretty good jack, you can be fairly certain that they're probably going to creep, but, you know, you can't be 100% certain. So Cechi played a little bit safe, and he went for the pretty strong mid-game in the slightly later tier 3, which is fine, because once your opponent goes out to go creep, you can creep and you can get to tier 3, and everything, the timings work out pretty well against this strategy, so it's kind of nice. Here we can see that, yeah, Lin placing down wards right there and right here. It's gonna give him a lot of key vision. Let's just look at his vision for a second. With Fog of War on, this is from Lin's. Like, look how good that ward is. That is so good. You can see him over here as well. It's just giving him so much vision. Really amazing. And down here, of course, he's going to creep. I'm getting a really nice item on that Shadow Hunter. That's going to be an Ankh of Reincarnation. That means when he dies, as you can read the description, he gets revived with 500 hit points. I don't think he gets any mana when he revives, so he's not super useful. I'll probably put that on the Blade Master, but he might keep it on the Shadow Hunter. It's just going to depend on, I don't know how Lin's going to want to play, because it goes well on either hero, really. Probably a little more effective on the Blade Master, but, you know, when he has items like Potion of Greater Healing, he might prefer to keep that on the Blade Master instead of the Ankh. Or maybe even just the Lesser Invulnerability Potion, which you might want on the Shadow Hunter more if we see like a Silencer or something, so he can break Silence, but I don't know if we're going to see that or not. It could be, it could be. Anyway, we're going to see Destroyer coming in from Cechi. Of course, he probably picked up the Orb of Corruption, there it is. Taking a sip of water. It's always good. And yeah, he's got a level 3 on the Shadow Hunter, really good. And he is actually tier 3 as well for Lyn. Will we see him going for the improved burrow upgrade? Maybe at some point. Once you see the destroyers, he's probably going to try to get to it. Maybe not. I guess it depends on how comfortable he is, because, you know, like, it's definitely a matter of comfort on a map like this, because you can keep the undead on his side of the map. Anyway, we're going to see a decent Jack. I don't know who got the experience. I was too busy yabbering away about unrelated stuff. But, yeah. So there was a Jack. He did pop the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. It doesn't look like anything really... Actually, did it even die? I think it did. Ancient Django, it went to the Death Knight. At least the item did. I don't know about the experience, but that's a really, really good item as well for the undead player. As you can see, it increases your attack rate and movement speed by 5%, I believe, on each. It might actually be 10% movement speed and 5% attack speed or something like that. Maybe even 15 movement? I think it's, I don't know. Either way, it's really good. We're going to have a fight going underway. We do see those 2 destroyers morphing. Well, one was already morphed up, and he's going to be able to use those to eat the Spirit Link. Really, really effective. Gives these guys mana. Makes them pretty durable, and lets you actually kill stuff, because if stuff has Spirit Link on it and you're like trying to focus it down, it's really hard to kill it. Of course, that's kind of one of the synergies of the Orc army in this situation. We're going to see these Raiders being targeted down as the main focus target. We're going to see the Blade Master trying to just take down Fiends one by one. It's kind of a snowball effect. Once the first one goes down, that means a lot of the coils have been expended, generally speaking. Oh, the Shadow Hunter actually going to go down, but he does still have that Ankh of Reincarnation, so he's not in a bad, terrible spot. We're going to see this Kodo Beast getting focused down. That will indeed get that Crypt Fiend back out. We do have that Dark Range right here. He's becoming the silence of why you can't talk. The Dark Ranger goes down to focus fire. We'll see that Blade Master taking a lot of damage as well, but he was silenced. He did pop a potion of greater healing, which gave him up, well, almost a full heal, pretty much a full heal. But he's pretty much out of ways to stay alive, other than Healing Wave right now and Windwalk. But he is still taking some more damage. We don't have any kind of way to reveal him on Cechi, and Chehi's lost a lot of units. He does have one unit right there, that Fiend inside of that Kodo Beast. Do we see a TP on any of Lyn's heroes? We actually don't see a TP. The Shadow Hunter is going to go down. The Shadow Hunter goes down at level 4, being picked up by the Death Knight. We do see the Lich starting to take a lot of damage. He does have a Health Stone, so he can pop that. And there's another coil. Lyn is actually going to have to back out of this fight, and he's probably going to lose a lot of this stuff here. He's going to run that Raider out of the way. We'll probably kill the Kodo Beast, get his Fiend back out of there. Potentially going to kill both of those guys as well. Looks like he's not going to try to go for the Tavern on the Shadow Hunter, right? At least not right now, because it would be really bad if the Undead's right here, and he would just nuke it down. We can see level 4 being picked up by the Shadow Hunter. He did get that Fiend back out, going to coil it. Not a bad, really, Che turned that fight away, or that fight right around, because at least in my opinion, he was definitely starting to lose it. But the really nice damage switches between the two heroes, and of course, just a great job microing. But like I said, one thing I kind of talked about there was it's really hard to kill the first Fiend, unless, you know, you get like nice crits or something, because it's going to be coiled and frost noted and such, and so it's kind of front loaded in a sense, the way that the undead army kind of micros in those situations. So once the first Fiend goes down, it is a lot easier to kill the second Fiend, and a whole lot easier to kill the third. But we're going to see a Kodo Beast going right down. Right now, we are Che's in Lyn's base. He is trying to get the reinforced defenses upgrade for his burrows and towers that gives them fortified armor instead of that measly heavy, which is really easily taken down by destroyers. But the question is, will Cechi actually go for these burrows? He was, but he kind of like got distracted by units, killing units pretty good as well. And actually, we're going to see Liquid Fire being researched after the Kodo Beast. I don't know if that's a mistake, or if Lyn is saying, you know what, I can't beat his army at this point. I need to switch up tactics into like some kind of like bad harass strategy maybe, or late game focusing. I don't have a clue, but that could, yeah, it might have just been a misclick. I think it was because he canceled that to get a Raider. You can see the Shadow Hunter coming out right before the Altar of Storms finished. We do have another Kodo Beast just popping out. That means the Raider's on its way. He's probably going to not lose this Kodo Beast. He could, but yeah, he's not going to. With that, especially with that Shadow Hunter right there, it'd be really hard. He does need to get a shot back up or something, some way to deal with this army. We will see him trying to go for this statue right here with the Blade Master, but his army is right here, so he's probably going to come in, maybe cause some havoc there. And it looks like the statue's ensnared, which is pretty good. A very nice dodge on that ensnare for that Fiend right there. Just went ahead and said, you know what, you're not going to kill this dude. You're not even going to ensnare him. I'm just going to burrow and dodge. which worked pretty well. Probably going to see a dust. Yeah, that's what he picked up. Really good item. He needed that so that he can actually do some damage to this Blade Master, because it keeps going Windwalk, although it's out of mana, which is not good for Lyn. He does have a shop going down inside his base, fairly protected, but there's really, without any units there, it's just like a choke point. He can still get in there and kill it if he wants to. Over here we can see Lyn just deciding to creep. You know, he's like, I can't really fight him, so I might as well try to get some items, some gold, and some experience. All of this are good things for me. But he's actually being chased right now. He's on the run. Gonna lose a Raider. Probably gonna lose that Kodo Beast as well. He is just getting decimated right now. If we look at the food counts, we can see 52 for Cechi, 36 for Lyn, and really just kind of dominant heroes on Cechi. 4-4-2 compared to 4-4. Of course, we're going to see some focus going down. One of those little headhunter guys does go down. We're going to see a Fiend getting killed right as a bro comes to heal him. Unfortunately, it's slightly too late for him. Maybe we'll see a Destroyer. Oh, it's going to get morphed. That's statue going down, but he does get morphed into a Destroyer. We're going to see another Raider going down. And this just looks worse and worse for Lyn as it snowballs into Chehi's favor. We're going to see the Shadow Hunter getting a lot of nukes on him, as well as Silence. Will he get the healing wave off? Or, as he goes to cast it, the coil finishes him off. That's going to be the good game coming in from Lyn. Well played, Cechi. What a turnaround, I think. I think Cechi was behind in that game, but he just microed really well in that fight. I want to say it was like in the lower middle leftish area. I wish there was the mini map was up. I could like, this is where. But that one fight was really, really good for Cechi. But great play from both players. And that was game 1. So hopefully that gives me high hopes for the next game 2 in the series. The next game in the series, which is game 2. So if you're on YouTube, hopefully there'll be an annotation you can click. And if you're on stream, well, we're about to get right into the game 2. Be right there.